Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? Sandra Sheffrere, one of the Haitian advocates.
Hey,
we're all
everyone.
together. Usually you guys see us like on separate screens, but we're actually in the same space today.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's Christine Sanon-Jules. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hello, everyone. It's Naomi Vladimir, and it's an honor for me to be here tonight.
Yes. So we first off want to thank the City of Fort Lauderdale Fire Station 46 for letting us have our town hall here tonight. Thank you so much for the space. It's amazing.
And Commissioner Pamela Beasley Pittman for providing this space for us. She's the one that worked out with the fire department to give us an opportunity to use this space to bring this important information to the community. So thank you so much, Commissioner Beasley Pittman, for all of your help.
Thank you.
And as we're wrapping up our evening here, we wanted to go do our show. We normally do our shows every Thursday, so we're utilizing the space to also do our show, talk about some of the things that have been weighing on us as school is approaching and we're dealing with ICE and immigration crises here in South Florida. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm just going to wrap us up with some Know Your Rights, just so that we can all be prepared as we enter back into regular everyday life once school starts.
Yeah, because as the description said, Christine is going to talk about know your rights just in case ICE come knocking at your door. You know what it is that you can and cannot do. And we know that particularly in Broward County, because we're in Broward County today, they already have about 8,000 less students starting the school year already just for whatever reason. And we're afraid that that number is probably going to grow as all of this enforcement picks up, because people are afraid to leave their house. They don't want to they're not sending their kids to school anymore. And I'm telling you, I don't know if that's a good idea, because you're supposed to send the kids to school because you may be creating a reason for ISA or someone to actually come to your house, because now you're definitely breaking the law. So we want to talk a little bit about that too. And, we can't get rid of all of your concern or all of your fears, but we definitely want to just talk a little bit about that, because school starts in a couple of weeks here. And yeah, we don't want the parents to, further put themselves in difficult situation by making the decision to not send the children to school.
Yes, I know in the school that I was teaching at 2 years ago, most of our students are on TPS. Like a good majority of the students were on TPS. And I know that last year when I spoke to some of the staff and faculty, they were concerned.
And there was another thing that happened 2 years ago, because that was in 2023 when the governor of the state of Florida decided to get involved in like immigration business. And they created some that was like SB 1718. There was a bunch of laws that they created, and people started leaving the state because they were like, if you bring someone in, if you have a person in your car, like some of that didn't pass, but the word was on the street. They're like, if you go to the hospital and you're undocumented, they can they can't refuse you service because doctors have to serve you. But part of what was happening in 2023 was because of the SB 1718 that the governor had pushed forth in Florida that, already had people leaving the state.
Yeah, and I think what happens is, people don't want to wait to find out if they're actually going to do it, right? Yeah. The minute you hear that there's the possibility, you seek out other options because you just don't even want to be in that situation. So I totally get it.
So I was with my aunts yesterday, and they work at a public hospital. I'm not going to say which one, but I mean, it's a big public hospital in Miami. And they said that ICE came to the hospital, and they had all the workers that were on TPS go into a safe space. But then they told ICE to leave. They asked ICE to leave. They sent out a mass text to their employees and said, don't come back to work. So
wait, they fired them over a text?
It's not that they fired them.
I mean, what would you like?
They're trying to protect them. They're saying, listen, just don't come back to work. Like they want them to come back to work, but they don't want They don't want to hand them over to ICE.
No, I know, but like, don't come back to work anymore, or don't come back to work until.
Don't come back to work.
Oh.
That's it. So this is the thing, right? I say that to say a lot of our migrants have been out of work out of fear, and a lot of employers, especially if you work in public spaces or government buildings, they've asked their employees not to come back. So we have students now that are going to start school. They probably don't have any backpacks or sneakers or school supplies because their parents haven't been working. And we need a holistic solution.
We'll talk about backpacks. If you're in Pompano Beach on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we have a backpack giveaway that we're doing at 737 Martin Luther King Boulevard in Pompano Beach. I mean, there are some that are happening throughout the city, but if you're in a Pompano Beach area or you know anyone in the Pompano Beach area, at 737 Martin Luther King Boulevard, we're going to be giving away backpacks, school supplies. There'll be a bounce house and a DJ there, but the focus more on backpacks and school supplies in Pompano Beach, 737 Martin Luther King Boulevard. See you on Saturday between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
That's really.
I think,
talk about a plug.
I know, right?
Talk about a plug.
Well, I think Commissioner Bastian has one tomorrow at Oak Grove as well. Let me get that flyer because I wasn't as prepared as Sandra.
Well, I'm involved in that one. So that's
like, she's like, we got a backpack. We got a backpack for you.
And it's
right.
They're clear backpacks. So like, understand that
nice.
they're clear backpacks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I know some people resist them, but they're clear backpacks.
Okay, I got mine ready.
All right, there we go.
So tomorrow, Friday, August 1st, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Oak Grove Park. Please, they say first come, first serve. They're gonna have backpacks, school supplies, and more.
So the address of Oak Grove, because I know
Oak
that's
Grove.
On Northeast 6 somewhere. Where is it? What's
Yes,
the address?
690 Northeast 159th Street, Miami, Florida 33162. So once again, 690 Northeast 159th Street, Miami, Florida 33162.
Look how we looking out.
Yes.
Well, that's right. That's what advocates
So whether
do.
you're in Fort Lauderdale, you got Pompano.
Yep.
Okay, and if you're in Miami-Dade County, you got Oak Grove.
Yes. And definitely there's so many of them happening, like throughout. So, go get what you can, and there might be some people doing uniforms too. So definitely look and try to get a resource.
I've always thought about, having uniform as an option, especially when school starts, because I know mostly everybody does do backpacks, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do believe that we should start diversifying because people have a wide range of needs. And I think uniform is definitely one of them.
That's great. Actually, I want to give a shout out to Young Dreams Co. This is like a plug-in time, but honestly, there's so many resources. We have to share them. Young Dreams Community Outreach, and that is Jordana. She's a member of the Women's Chamber of Commerce. She is not, literally, they're giving away uniforms. They're giving away school supplies, backpacks, and sneakers.
Awesome.
And they're doing it for migrant families only.
Okay, when is that?
I think that you had to pre-register.
You
had to pre-register so that they could make sure that every child got everything with the size and everything.
Oh,
so,
excellent.
but you can just follow on Instagram and get all the information. Just message Jordana, say Christine sent you. Young Dreams _CO. Young Dreams _CO.
Excellent.
And we'll type it in the chat afterward. We'll type it in the chat. So come back and check out the live, and you'll have that information. So we'll add it all to the chat.
Great job,
And post
Jordana.
flyers.
Yeah.
Great job. Great
Yep.
job.
All right. So we have that resource. Parents, we know you're afraid. Parents, we know you are having a hard time in the summer working. So people are trying to, lighten the load as much as you can in that regard. And then we're going to lighten the load and talk a little bit about know your rights. And I'm going to tell y'all to get into a consultation with an attorney in order for you to know what your options are, because we have to keep pushing that. And then we're not going to put some elected officials on blast, but we're going to talk a little bit about them because they really need to step up their efforts, because the administration is stepping up their efforts to detain more people and put folks in in situations that are really difficult, and the stress level is high. And so, we're going to talk about and put a little pressure on those electeds, and so they can do something, do what the people sent you there to do.
Yes. So do you want me to touch on the Know Your Rights now a little bit? And let's go in, let's just dive into the Know Your Rights, and then we'll get into some of these hot topics right after.
So they can know what they can do
Yes.
so they can send these children to school.
Sorry, guys, I'm gonna get a little
She's gonna put
close.
us out, and that's okay.
It's my space now.
It's her
So
side.
I just want to say that I did not come up with this. This is flick.org. So Flick is a Florida Immigration Coalition. They are amazing. And I'll tell you a little bit more about them once the presentation starts. This is really, really important for you to know, especially as you're going back to school or back to work or whatever it is. It's really important for you to know your rights. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start with protect the people. All right, protect the people. That is the name of the workshop. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Flick because they put all this together. Florida Immigrant Coalition's mission is to grow the connection, capacity, and consciousness of communities to strengthen pro-immigrant power in Florida. Oh, let me just play the slideshow. There we go. That's better. All right. So, know your rights. Let's get into it. You have rights. And the Constitution does not just protect citizens. The United States Constitution protects every person that is in the United States, okay? So know this, your rights. You have the right to remain silent and not answer questions. If ICE comes up to you and let's say you're on TPS or whatever the case is, for any situation, actually, if law enforcement approaches you, you can say, I do not wish to speak with you, answer your questions, or sign or hand any documents based on my Fifth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution. Okay, let's practice that together. If ICE comes up to you, I do not wish to speak with you, answer your questions, or sign or hand you any documents based on my Fifth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution. Okay, that is your right to remain silent. Next, you have rights to not be searched without a probable cause. Okay, so this is what we say. I do not give you permission to enter my home based on my Fourth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution unless you have a warrant to enter signed by a judge or magistrate with my name on it that you slide under the door. I do not consent to search. Now, why is it important for it to be signed by a judge or a magistrate? When ICE officers present you a warrant, if it's signed by Christy Noem, that is not valid. She is not a judge. She is not a magistrate, okay? Also, make sure that it says your exact name. If your name is Marie Ann and it's like Marie Joseph, that's not your name. You do not consent to a search, okay? Next, I do not give you permission to search any of my belongings based on my Fourth Amendment rights. I choose to exercise my constitutional rights. Am I free to go? It's always important to ask, am I free to go? Because if you're not free to go, that means that they're detaining you, right? So always ask, am I free to go? Those are your rights. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Private places. This is very, very important. Immigration agents do not have the right to enter private spaces without your permission or a judicial warrant. I know a lot of people are going back to school and there's going to be a lot of concern there, right? With your immigration status. ICE probably has jurisdiction over a public school, right? They probably can enter a public school because it's a public space. But can they enter a private school? Not without permission from the property owner. Okay, so understand that the difference between a private space and a public space. So a public park is a public space. Your house is a private space. Okay, so immigration agents do not have the right to enter private spaces without your permission or judicial warrant. Oh, all right. Immigration at your home. Do not open the door. If you open the door and allow the official to come into the house, this can be considered giving him or her consent to enter. Ask to see the warrant. Ask the officer to slip the warrant underneath the door or show it through the window. Only a warrant signed by a judge and with your correct information gives the officer permission to enter your home without your consent. Forgive us, we're here at the fire station. Thank you. We're so grateful to be at the fire station. They opened their home to us, but I think there's an emergency happening. So once again, only a warrant signed by a judge and with your correct information gives the officer permission to enter your home without your consent. Next, immigration at your work. Anyone, including ICE, can access public spaces. They cannot search private areas of your workspace, such as an office or kitchen that is closed to the public without a judicial warrant. Ask to see the warrant. The warrant must have the name of the business and the area that the agents are allowed to search. Once again, the warrant must have the name of the business and the area that the agents are allowed to search. Stay calm. Ask your workers to stay calm too. Do not run to the exits. Remember to not answer any questions and ask to speak to a lawyer. Your rights in action. This is very, very, very important. Do not provide any information about your immigration status. Once again, do not provide any information about your immigration status. Do not lie. Do not say, oh, I'm a citizen. No, do not lie. Do not give false documents. Do not carry papers from another country. If you do, the government can use this information in a deportation proceeding. Okay? Please, this is very, very important. Do not sign any document. Do not sign any document before speaking with a lawyer. Be aware that government officials may try to intimidate you or trick you into signing. Do not let yourself be tricked. You may be signing away your right to a hearing before an immigration judge, and we don't want that, okay? So do not sign any document. And Rapid Response Alliance for Immigrant Safety and Empowerment. I want you to please, please, please write down this number, 1-888-600-5762. 1-888-600-5762. Or you can also remember raise.is, raise.is. This is Flick's hotline, and they have it in 4 languages. So English, Spanish, Creole, and Portuguese. You can call if you see ICE at a facility. You can call if you need help, if you need an attorney, if you are being detained, or if you see somebody being detained, you can call this hotline, okay? And they will get you the information that you need. All right, we're not going to get into this next portion, your family plan. We normally do this on a full training, but today, the what? Oh, but I will summarize. So we're not going to get into it, like deep into it, but I will summarize it. Absolutely. Okay. So in summarizing it, I just want you to know, being prepared. What's that saying? If you fail to prepare, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, right? We don't want to alarm anybody. We don't want you to be like scared. Chances are you already are, but just have a plan in place, right? So number one, part of the plan, you just went through this, knowing your rights is a part of your plan. Because once you know your rights, you know how to exercise your rights, okay? Number 2, your emergency contact list. You should have your emergency contact list somewhere handy, but memorize the phone numbers that you are going to need to call in the event that you are being detained, right? Memorize those numbers, because chances are you're not going to get a chance to go grab your pocketbook, which people don't really have anymore, but grab your pocketbook and look up the number. Like, you're not going to have that time. Memorize your emergency contact numbers, okay? And then your important documents. It's really important to organize everything and prepare all of your documents. Now, the great thing about Flick has a checklist. So if you go on flick.org, they give you a checklist. Not only do they give you a checklist, they actually give you this Know Your Rights. You can get the Know Your Rights presentation that we just had, and you can have all of your checklists that you need for your preparedness plan. Okay? Ooh, child, I don't know what's going on here at the fire station. I apologize. Fort Lauderdale is busy. Okay. Okay. I think everything's good now. So please, please, please go on to flick.org and click on the flag that represents the country that you're from, and it will change the entire website into that language so that you can understand it and read it. You can know your rights, and you can have your family preparedness plan and your checklist. Thank you so much. I'm going to go back into the studio, and we're going to take this out of the studio, and I'm going to get my girls back on the screen. Are we all in?
Yes, we are. Great job, Christine. I think that was very important, because at the end of the day, what you say or don't say can literally impact your ability to get status here. So it's very important to know what to say and not, and what to say and not say. So thank you so very much.
Yes, and I see a question in the comments. Is that number nationwide, or is it just for Florida? So the great thing about Flick is, yes, Flick is for Florida. It's Florida Immigrant Coalition. However, you can still use that number, and they will connect you if you're in a different state. They're not going to turn you away. I had that question before, and so I just wanted to answer that. Yes, it is focused on Flick is focused on Florida, but they're going to help you. So it's okay. Just call.
Yes, because they're part of a network of other nonprofit organizations, and so they can just connect you with another nonprofit. So you don't even have to worry about them sending you to someone that may charge you. You can get connected to another nonprofit that provides similar services.
And also, we want to let you know that if you're looking for a legal, I don't know if we should say a legal consultant, but if you're looking for a brief consultant where you actually speak to a lawyer and you do not have to pay, Flick has those services available every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. you can get what would we call it? Pro bono.
It's a free consultation. It's not representation. It's a consultation.
And that's what I didn't want to say. So it is free consultation with a licensed attorney, right? And they will actually look at your case. They will go through the case with you and give you some options. So every Wednesday at 2 p.m. If I were you, once we're done with this live, I would go on Flick's page. We're going to drop it in the comments, and that's flick.org, and you'll be able to go on the page and schedule an appointment so that you can get your free consultation.
The number was what, 888-600, was it 5762? Can somebody just double check before I submit that so that you have it? I want to say this. I spoke to a gentleman today that watched our live from the one that we did in West Park, and he was already ready to go to Haiti. I know he didn't have an attorney, and I know that most people don't have attorneys. Like, I know that for a fact, because he was ready to go to Haiti. He goes, if I can't renew my TPS, I'm going to Haiti. He's like, but I watched it, and you guys gave me some ideas. Gave you ideas, brother. Go talk to an attorney. Like, you've got kids, you've got a family. Go talk to an attorney. So I just wanted to say that we're changing lives. Like, what we're doing, really impacting people, even those that are watching. We know that we're able to help you. Something as simple as a free consultation can change your life. So please, did I get it right? The
888-600-5762.
Yay. Okay.
And then we're gonna drop the website as well.
She
I
did.
did.
Oh, perfect. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and Christine is correct in that we're making a difference, because you know how sometimes when people are talking, they say, if I'm able to change at least one person's life, then I know there's impact. So that we know is impact, because we get calls where folks are like, I came to one of the presentations, I have an appointment with Flick on Wednesday, or some of them even go and see consultation with some of the private attorneys that are on the panel. They reach out to those attorneys and they have consultations with them. And we're also getting other opportunities to speak with folks, because I had an opportunity to speak on the radio show last night and today, because people are like, no, we're hearing what you're doing. People are asking about it. So they're inviting us into their spaces in order for us to provide that information. So when you're being requested, you know that what you're doing is at least helping someone, because, you know, and it just takes small steps. And I hope, and I think not only just us providing the information, I think we're also motivating others to do the same thing, right? You know what I'm saying? Where they say, what is it, like, imitation is the best form of flattery, right? And so, and ain't nobody mad at that, because we can't do it all anyway. We can't go into all the places. We need everybody to get on board to do the work. And we appreciate all the other folks who are taking the initiative and doing this work also.
Yes.
Great. Do we have any other questions?
No, I think
don't
that
see
was it.
anymore.
That was it. Well, ladies, I want to say thank you so very much for all that you.
So we're not
all
gonna
have
end it
been
yet, because we
doing.
got to call a couple folks out.
No.
I know.
No, we're ending the positive note, and now we need to.
So I want to say on a positive note.
No, we got to end on a positive note, so we got to put the bad news in the middle.
Well,
and leave
let's
positive
give some
for later.
positive. Hit them with the bag, and then go with the positive. So I want to
Okay.
say thank you so very much to these amazing ladies for the work that they have been doing. We want to thank every advocate who has shown up and who has been a part of our panel and given some great information to really help those that are watching. We want to thank those that reshare the live. On an average, once we're done with one of these presentation online alone, there are 150, 250
500
people, 500 views.
Yeah.
So although we know it's a difficult time, we know that each one of us is doing what we can, and we do not want to downplay that, right? Because just sharing the live, if that's what you are capable to do, that's your capacity, thank you.
Yes.
And we appreciate that. If it's being an advocate and showing up as an attorney, as a mental health professional, as a finance advisor or financial individual, if that is what you can do, thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to give a shout out to Natalie Demesman, who has been a great supporter, Delphine Jervis, of course, Flick. We were always talking about Flick. And the executive director, Tessa Petit, thank you so very much. We want to thank Jean Castor, who is an owner of a mortgage company, who actually the other day gave some really great vital information during our last town hall. We also want to thank
Ronald Surin. Ruth Jean has participated. Andy McKinney, Andre McKinney has done stuff. So,
and then there's the other young lady, I'm missing her attorney.
Miss Suprin.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. And if you specialize in one of these areas and you want to actually give your
Jessica
time.
Jefferson was another mental health person that came in that we didn't.
Yes, I think I mentioned Jessica. I didn't just say her last name.
Okay.
Jessica Jefferson. Thank you so very much. So please, if you fit into the area of immigration law, you are a mental health counselor, you are a financial advisor, someone in the finance world, you are a director of a bank, and you understand or you have expertise in these specific areas.
Powers of attorneys and guardianships too.
Powers of attorney, guardianship, and you want to actually give of your time, please, we need you.
We do.
We do need you, because at the end of the day, we know we have until February, right? And we don't know really what's going to happen around there.
I don't want to say that. You don't have until February.
No,
February is the last.
But what
We
I
have
want to
now.
say,
You ain't got no till February.
So,
no.
Well, hold on. And
that's
I want to interject
So
something
between
too.
now
because I'm an attorney, we
February.
got to be careful with words.
Okay,
And
so
we do
between
not
now,
have until February.
so you don't have until February,
No.
but between now and February, get into one of our spaces. Make sure you arm yourself with the 8 steps so that you can make the best decision for you, your family, and your future.
Can I just also say, I'm so happy that obviously this was birthed from TPS for Haitians being revoked. But listen, to my Nicaraguans, my Venezuelans, my Hondurans, my Cubans, I'm coming for you, okay? So I need your attorneys. I need your who else? Mental health professionals. We need your organizations. I need you to contact me because I want to go into the Hispanic communities and I want to bring this information to you as well. And I want to make sure that it's tailored and catered for your specific needs and situations. So please, we are not stopping here. We are just beginning. So please, please, please send us all of the referrals.
And so one of the things that I've learned to do is to always pivot. So because we've done such great conversations and we're getting people ready for school, telling them where to get uniforms and backpacks and all of this stuff, we're not going to blast anybody tonight. So the only thing we're going to say, no, I don't think we should, because it's we got all this good vibe going. But what we're going to do, what we do want to, at least I want to say, is that, these elected officials, you all need to get on board. People sent you to do a work. And I know, well, I'm not going to say I know. I suspect, and I always get the impression that the primary concern is always about getting reelected. But in this moment, there's a right and a wrong side of history. This is absolutely in this moment, there's a right and a wrong side of history. So I don't want to think that you getting reelected is more important than being on the right side of history. Because if, we're faith-based folks here, and we all believe in the day of judgment, and we have to answer for our deeds, our acts, our actions.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna have to do the same. You may not want to believe it or accept it, but you're gonna have to answer for all the work that you've done, and you really need to be on the right side of these issues. So I think that's how I want to say it. If the young ladies want to say something different, but this is a time where your reelection can't be of the most priority. And the reality is, if some of the things y'all doing, y'all not gonna get reelected anyway.
No, you're not. And I'll make sure
get on the right side of history with this. Seriously.
So I know that we want to pivot and be nice and fluffy, but I actually have nothing fluffy to say. I woke up this morning almost in tears, right? And I think that people will understand. If you heard us on the radio this morning, we were on Haitian radio, Radio Mega. We were on there earlier today at 12:30 with Dr. Floor. Shout out to Dr. Floor, a supporter and a friend. And we were saying that the things that we're doing right now should have been done a long time ago. And I need us as a community to start holding our elected officials accountable. We are not elected officials. And I don't care what anyone wants to say about, I ran for office or Naomi ran for office and we're doing this for clout. No, we are not. We're doing this because this is the work that needs to be done, and it's not being done by the people that are elected, that are in the positions that we ran for. This is what you could have had, all right? But you didn't want it, and that's okay, because
I didn't run for anything.
But the thing is that I do not see elected officials meeting the moment. Writing a letter is not enough, okay? Pushing for policy is not even enough. That's what should have happened before. Right now, we're in a moment of action. So people need to know what their options are and what can be done. And they need a room where there's people that they can physically go to, right? We need legal clinics set up everywhere right now. We need job fairs right now, because we need to say, who's still hiring people that have TPS, even though it may be expiring? We need to know where these people can even go and get a job. These are things that we need to understand right now. We need to sit down with the school board and say, are our kids safe? We need to start having these real conversations.
Can we put a pin right there? When are we going to meet with the school board? When? We're going to wait until August 14 roll around and then, school starts and then we just don't send them. When are we going to meet with them? When are we going to meet with our elected officials that have been elected to represent our children?
It needs to happen now. And I the reason why I woke up this morning is because I was like, okay, we've got another town hall today. I'm so grateful to do this work, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted mentally and emotionally. Why? Why? Because it's not enough. We have to do more. I see that there's so many more people that need our help, and it's like we can't get to them fast enough, and that is what is hurting me right now.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is like we have, they have bigger platforms than I do, and and the information needs to get out to more.
We don't think so.
No, you do though. But the information needs to get out to more people, right? And so you have these elected who have these, 1 million followers, this, that, or whatever, and the kind of things they're talking about. I'm like, that ain't what you need to talk about with your 1 million follower platform. They should be the ones telling people about these are the options that you have. Go consult with an attorney. These are the different things that you can look at with immigration. And I know immigration is the boogeyman for some of these electeds, and they don't want to touch it, but you got to touch it because this is touching everyone. It's going to touch those business owners and those developers you want to protect because nobody going to be on their construction site. And say they do get their building built. If they put some real grass down, they're not going to have no landscaping services that's going to be able to go do that. Say that roof get messed up, you ain't going to have no roofers to go up there and do all that maintenance. And we're not saying immigrants are only here for the purposes of labor, but the reality is that there are a lot of labor jobs that is mainly immigrants who do them, right? And you got to take that into consideration. And when y'all start paying $10 for linens, people are going to start worrying about that. So even though the elected officials don't realize how this immigration issue and what they're doing right now affects them, it is going to affect you, and it's going to cost you your job in 26. I'm telling you.
It is. Yeah. It is. And let's also talk about, we're probably going to have to see a rise in evictions. And it's mainly because people are not working enough to even pay for the bare necessities. And people are we're going to have multi-generations, of course, as we have that anyway, but it's going to get worse. There's going to be more families in a household just waiting for that knock on the door. ICE is coming, So right now we need, it's like a hurricane, right? Or a tornado or a tsunami. Like we need a preparedness plan. We're past that. Now we probably need a mitigation or remediation plan. We need a plan, and we're making it up as we go. But these elected officials, they have answers to questions that we have. They have firsthand knowledge of what's coming down the pipeline from Washington.
And another one of the reasons why I don't want people to think that they have until like February to do stuff is the immigration fees are going up August 2nd. Some of them went up already, and the rest of them are going up not August 2nd. I think it's August 21st, right? It's either the 21st or the 25th. It's always 21st. The fees are going up, and they're going up astronomically. I mean, it ain't no little, we finna add $20, we finna add $100. They're adding thousands of dollars to those fees. Asylum application that used to be free, I think you can pay $100 now, and it's gonna go up to like $1,000 or $900 or something very insane, right? So whatever you're going to do, people need to start trying to do those things right now, because if they thought it was prohibitive before because they didn't have finances, it's going to really get to the point where it's a mess. And I think people would pay if they knew that they were going to get something as a result. But I'm just saying that all the prices are going up, and I believe it's August the 21st or the 25th. The prices are going up.
We've got a lot of work and we don't have enough hands.
Yes.
So right now we need all hands on deck, and that includes our elected officials. So please join us in this mission to help our community.
And we want to say shout out to Belinda, who is on. She says, absolutely, we are proud to have you on mental wellness for the culture. Keep informing and influencing.
And so we also promote CEAT, CEATT. Belinda's involved with CEAT. So she's a mental health professional. She does that work. She does some partnership with Delphine Gervais or whatever, So yeah, she's in it. She's in it with us doing that work.
Excellent. So I'm gonna let you guys close out, and then I'll just give a recap of resources.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You want to give the recap of resources now? Or?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that because I have another thing to do like in about 7 minutes anyway. So I'm glad we're ending it like at a good time. But I'm just like, yeah, it's time to do that work. This is really one of those all hands on deck. A lot of I think those officials dropped the ball earlier on, but we're gonna maybe give you a little bit of grace if you really start putting in that work and with the sense of urgency that it really needs at this time.
And just know that if you're not willing to do it, other people will. Other people will do it, and they will mobilize the base, and it may not look good for you in 2026.
Okay, and for the resources, so of course we've mentioned FLICT at 888-600-5762, and we have the website on the comment section, and that's FLIC.org. For all those who are looking for mental health counselors, there's an organization called CEAT, CEATT, and they're giving free. I said free 99. Okay. You can call them at 305-488-4534. The only thing that they're asking for is that you have a Miami-Dade County driver's license. For those who are in Broward County and you have a Broward County driver's license, you can call SWSS at 305-707-7977. That's 305-707-7977. Last but not least, we have a Rebati Santé Mentale. For those who can pay a small minimal fee of $25, you can also get services from them, and that's 954-432-3800.
Let's be real. This is trauma. We're going through trauma, right? You don't have to go through this alone. You have plenty of resources there. Talk to somebody. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Hey y'all, Sandra Sheffer, host of Racing the Races. Go ahead, please subscribe to our YouTube channel called Racing the Races. Subscribe to our TikTok page, Racing the Races, and like us on Facebook and Instagram, Racing the Races. Go ahead, support the page. I'm tired of getting crazy comments from these white dude trolls that's mad. Like, why y'all mad in the comments now? So come on, y'all, those who are fans of the show, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, comment on the video. Tell us what else you would like to see instead of me having to read all these trolling comments. But I see it as a compliment because I showed up in their feed and I really don't know who they are. And since they're not challenging the content is good. They want to make personal attacks, but that's okay. So I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, subscribe to TikTok. All of it is called Racing the Races, and go ahead and like us on Facebook and Instagram.